discipline of staying. Most people believe discipline is about intensity. They think it looks like force, willpower, or relentless drive. But real discipline reveals itself much later when effort stops feeling meaningful. There is a moment in every serious path where motivation fades. Not because the path is wrong, but because novelty has expired. No progress feels visible. No one is watching. Nothing feels urgent anymore. This is the moment most people leave. They don't call it quitting. They call it reassessing. They call it waiting for clarity. They call it realignment. But clarity does not arrive through distance. It arrives through staying long enough for emotion to settle. Ancient wisdom understood this. Seeds do not grow in sunlight. They grow underground, unseen, unsupported by evidence. The early phase of discipline feels rewarding. You feel productive, you feel proud, you feel identified with progress. But the second phase feels empty. And emptiness scares people more than pain. Pain at least feels like movement. Emptiness feels like stagnation. Yet, emptiness is where identity is forged. Staying is not dramatic. It does not feel heroic. It feels ordinary. That is precisely why it works. When you stay without emotional payoff, you train loyalty to something deeper than feeling. You train fidelity to your future self. This is where discipline stops being a behavior and starts becoming The nervous system resists this phase. It wants stimulation. It wants novelty. It wants relief, scrolling, switching, restarting. But if you stay calmly, gently, without self-violence, the system recalibrates. Urgency softens. Craving weakens. Stability forms. And something subtle happens. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, do I feel like it today? You act from identity instead of impulse. I am someone who stays. That sentence, once embodied, simplifies life more than motivation ever could. Staying does not mean forcing yourself into misery. It means choosing alignment over drama. It means asking a simple question. Is this still aligned with who I decided to become? If the answer is yes, you stay without needing it to feel good. That is discipline, and that is the first gate. The descent. After staying comes a phase few people talk about. A phase where growth feels like loss. You feel quieter, less ambitious, less certain. Old goals no longer excite you. Old identities begin to dissolve. You start to feel like you're disappearing. Modern culture panics here. It worships expansion, visibility, momentum. So when life pulls inward, we assume something is wrong. But ancient traditions knew better. Before ascent, there is descent. Before clarity, confusion. Before rebirth, dissolution. The hero always enters the cave before returning transformed. The descent strips illusion. It removes borrowed identity. It exposes what was propping you up. This is not punishment. It is refinement. In this phase, discipline loses its drama. There is no adrenaline, no sense of pushing, just quiet repetition. This is where many people quit. Not because it's hard, but because it's ordinary. Darkness forces honesty. You cannot perform here. You cannot impress. You either stay or you flee. And fleeing looks like reinvention. New goals, new identities, new urgency. But reinvention is often avoidance wearing ambition. The descent asks something harder. Who are you without performance? Old motivations die here, and that feels like grief, because it is. You are mourning versions of yourself that once helped you survive. But scaffolding is not meant to last forever. If you allow this phase, something deeper forms. Not excitement, not confidence, ground. You stop narrating your progress, stop searching for signs, stop asking when you'll arrive. You are being prepared for something steadier. Stillness. When the noise fades, many people panic. They reach for distraction, stimulation, reinvention, anything to feel movement again. But silence is not emptiness. It is information. Stillness reveals patterns you couldn't see before. What you avoid, what drains you, what matters. In silence, excuses dissolve. You notice how often you escape discomfort, how quickly you seek validation, how rarely you sit without narrative. Stillness is confronting because it removes distraction, but it also heals. The nervous system begins to settle. Breath deepens. Reactions slow. Calm forged here is not fragile. It does not depend on comfort. It becomes baseline. Stillness is not inactivity. It is restraint. The ability to not force outcomes, to not grasp prematurely, to not flee uncertainty. Those who learn stillness develop perception. They see timing. They see nuance. They see clearly when others rush blindly. Stillness teaches without instruction. If you can stay here without numbing or escaping, you begin to trust yourself again. And that trust changes everything. Integration. Integration is not relief, it is coherence. The inner arguments stop. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions begin moving in the same direction. Nothing extreme, nothing dramatic. Just alignment, discipline becomes natural, rest becomes guilt-free, action becomes steady. You no longer need to motivate yourself. You no longer need to prove progress. Confidence changes shape here. It stops seeking attention, it rests. Integration shows up physically first. Your body stops bracing for impact. You trust your capacity to respond. This trust is not optimism, it is memory. You stayed through darkness. Your system remembers. From here, life simplifies. Fewer goals, but clearer. Fewer words, but truer. Fewer commitments, but honored. You stop chasing intensity, you choose precision. Precision is peaceful. Quiet strength. Quiet strength does not announce itself. It does not rush, it does not explain, it does not perform, it adapts. Plans change, it adjusts. Uncertainty arrives, it centers. Pressure builds, it steadies. This strength stabilizes rooms, it does not dominate them. You no longer need to be seen. Approval becomes optional. Noise becomes exhausting. You move steadily, even when unseen. Self-trust replaces motivation. You know you will follow through because you've seen yourself stay in boredom, in confusion, in silence. Relationships change here. You stop overgiving, stop reacting emotionally, stop trying to be understood. Boundaries become natural, clarity replaces force. The seeking phase ends. You don't feel finished, you feel grounded. This is not the strength of conquest, it is the strength of endurance. If you feel calmer than before, less reactive, less interested in proving yourself, you haven't lost ambition, you've refined it. You didn't come through the darkness to shine, you came through it to stand. And strength like this doesn't collapse when conditions change, it stays.